Hi crafty babes, I'm Brittany from Ginger Patch Designs. I run my handmade business out of my home, and today's video is going to be very, very different. Recently, over the past several weeks, especially in the comments, I've seen a lot of questions and just comments about, running a business as a parent, as a mom. I initially wasn't going to film today at all because I have so much to do. Like, I probably don't even have time to be filming this right now, but I was like, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity to show like exactly what I do, how I do it, how I plug in what needs to get done in the appropriate blocks of time to maximize getting it all done. Am I a pro at this? No, but I'm just doing my best. The intro is super short because I literally don't have time. It is 8:30. I've already taken my daughter to school. I made and ate breakfast. I kind of cleaned up the room a little bit to kind of get ready. I have to make a Harry Potter wallet that I've been procrastinating on, actually. I'm gonna get that done really quick, probably off camera. So my goal is to be in here until about 10 o'clock, and then after 10 o'clock until I go get my daughter, it's a mashup of home things and business things. In last week's video, I talked about zippers and I mentioned YKK metal zippers, and that these are the ones that I use for my wallets, which is what I'm doing right now. I forgot about a very, very important tip. If you've already sewn with true metal zippers, you probably already know this, but if you have never sewn with metal zippers, you will break your needle if you are not very, very careful. So the teeth are pretty wide, and obviously you don't want to literally sew your needle through the teeth. Now, vinyl zippers and the zipper tape that you've seen me use, you can gently sew through that very carefully. Some people don't. I do. I just always go very slowly over it. Now, what I do for the metal zippers is I widen the length of the stitch length. But even with widening the stitch length, I don't want the stitch length super wide all the way across. And so even though I widen it, I literally turn the stitches by hand. And so that if I feel the needle hit the metal zipper, I raise it up just a little bit, adjust without completely ruining the stitch. I know that sounds really confusing, but just be very, very careful of not stitching over the actual metal part of the zipper tape.
Being honest, I didn't mean to fall in love with you. Just kinda happened, don't really know when. Just know that it's with you. That's making me nervous, 'cause I'm thinking you noticed. Let me know if you change.
This is just not the day. It's already 9:30 and I don't have time to fix this right now. So this is the interior of the wallet. This is the exterior. The flap will come down. Kind of hard to picture. I was really wanting to show you what the final product looked like, but I'm going to have to turn this wrong side out again and fix it later. I've got the zipper pocket here with that YKK zipper on it and zipper tabs on both ends. I was not planning on picking stitches at my daughter's dance practice tonight, but I guess that's what I'll be doing. All right, friends, I want to hop on here real quick to tell you about a new shipping supply source that I have been trying out, and that is the Boxery. The Boxery is a one-stop shop for all things shipping and packaging supplies. It has everything you can possibly think of: boxes, tape, mailers, bubble wrap, poly bags, peanuts, craft paper. They even have an eco-friendly section. The website is super easy to navigate, so you can find exactly what you need super quickly. The thing that I love the most about the Boxery is not just the wide variety of supplies that they have, but the way that they offer their unit pricing. Very often as small business owners, we're just trying out new products and we don't want to order in bulk, but it's often much more expensive per unit to order like 10 or 25 units of something versus if we were to order 100 or 500, where it's much cheaper per unit. Not on the Boxery. For example, I design and make custom crochet kits, and I use these white foldable boxes, and I was previously paying $1.50 per unit per box versus $1.35 per unit per box on the Boxery. They even have a few colored bubble mailers, and I got these 10x6 pink ones for when I ship my magnetic bookmarks, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. They're very good quality, so I will definitely be ordering these again when I run out. One of the really great things as a small business owner is if you have a tax exempt code, you can simply email customer service, beep, boop, boop. They'll add that number to your account, and then you don't have to be paying that sales tax on all of your orders. I don't know about you, but I really struggle keeping the overall shipping cost of an item down. Not only just shipping it, but then the shipping supplies really adds to it, especially when you're adding boxes and tape and all of that on top of it. So I've been trying to find a consistent, affordable source for my shipping supplies. So thank you to the Boxery for sending me several of their products to try out. So if you want to check out some of the Boxery's goodies, make sure you click the link down in the description below. It's 9:30. The reason I'm cutting myself off and gonna work on that wallet later, even though it really needed to go out today, was I need to exercise by like 10 o'clock or 10-ish, somewhere in there, because if I wait to exercise, then I'll get hungry and then I won't exercise. I'll just have a snack. That's kind of been my habit if I don't exercise either in the morning or mid-morning. But these fabric tags will not even take 30 minutes to make at all. So let me show you what I used to make. And I thought this was a pretty good idea. So these are the ones I was using. And it's literally just canvas that I already had. And this is part of a huge DTF heat press, DTF transfer print that I heat pressed onto the canvas. I just as many as these tiny little logos that I could fit on the price of the print is what I did, and I cut them out by hand, bing, bang, boom. And they were working. I've been using these until I found this other product. So years and years ago, I had made fabric tags with like actual fabric paper. It was literal fabric, very, very thin. That would, there'd be like this piece of paper stuck to the back so that it would feed through your printer. If you sew, you might know what I'm talking about. I just did not like the way those looked. The fabric was so thin, like it had to be thin enough to go through the printer. I did not like the way they looked at all. And I had no idea that this product even existed until I watched a video by XOXO Charlie. And so I went to her Amazon storefront and bought this and tried it, and it was just as easy as she said it was. So this is heat transfer paper. When I went to look it up, they had like 1.0, 2.0. I don't know what that means. I just clicked on the one with really good reviews. It says inkjet. I don't have an inkjet. I have an eco tank, but it was not an issue. So in Canva, I just created like an 8.5 by 11, just like a sheet of paper. And then I put as many of my logos on there as I could. So you can make yours however big you want. Mine are square. I know that Charlie's were like more rectangular, but my logo is like kind of blocky. Let me see how big I made mine. They're 1.6 by 1.3 for the smaller size. And then this is the larger size. I actually might try to get away from that one. I like how this one looks with a little bit more white on the outside. So all you do is share, you download, and then you send it to your printer. So for printables that I reuse and print all the time, I actually have a printables folder on my desktop, and so I've already downloaded this. So I'm just gonna pull this up so we can get it printed.
Let me know if you change your mind. 'Cause all we do is talk. It's impossible and not to fall a little bit in love. But tell me if I'm wrong, or if I'm the only one. 'Cause I would leave my love behind and keep on talking to you. I just need a second so I can hear it say.
Don't worry about like if you're gonna burn it or something. As long as you have the paper that it comes with protecting it, you won't burn it. But you do want to check. Oh, that one did pretty good. Yeah, like if it comes up easily off of the fabric, then you just want to keep pressing a little bit more, but I think this one did pretty good. Oh, I need to redo that right there. So you also definitely want to make sure that you iron your fabric out flat beforehand. Hopefully this crease, the natural crease in the fabric from where it folds over, won't be a problem. I ironed it down as best that I could. Because if there's wrinkles or creases in your fabric, then it's going to cause wrinkles and creases in your labels. So that's pretty much it, and then you just cut them out. You don't have to put the black lines, like the square boxes around it in Canva like I did. I'm just, you would think a teacher would be a good straight cutter outer, but I am not, and so I put the black lines on there, the thinnest setting on the squares, just to make sure I cut them out really good. I have tried cutting out the strips with a paper cutter, but it's just very like flimsy. It's not rigid-ish like paper, and so I just prefer to cut them out by hand. It really doesn't take that long, and when I tell you just how much this cost per label, you're not going to care to cut them out either. This Trans Our Dream packet, I just looked it up. It's $18.95 for 20 sheets, which means that's this is before tax, roughly 95 cents per sheet. Right? 10 times 5, 50. I was able to get 50 labels on one sheet. So that's like almost 2 cents per label. It was like 0.019 when I double checked it. 2 cents a label. And then if you really want to count your ink from the printer, I have an Eco Tank, so it's like super efficient. But let's say you used an inkjet. Let's just round way up and say 5 cents a label. Like when I remember watching her video and I was like, I don't know that I'll ever buy labels. Like, this is so much easier. You want to try this out. The Trans Our Dream transfer paper is in my Amazon storefront, and it comes with really easy directions and that paper that you saw me using. It is 9:56, so I'm just going to say I have 4 hours-ish before I have to go get my daughter. In that time, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to redo some of my plants because they dampened off when I put them out in the garden, and so I have to start over. Between that and the immense flooding that we had, 4 of the rows that I already direct seeded and planted are flooded, and it looks like Middle Earth out there. I'm very grateful that our property is okay, and this is the least of our worries. My printer makes random noises at different times.
Tell me if I'm wrong, if I'm the only one, 'cause I will leave my life behind.
So if you're not new here, this is definitely not what you're used to, but we are just making it work today. And I have these funky gloves on my hands because this potting soil smells really bad, which means it's probably really good, and I left my good gardening gloves out in the rain. We've all done it. It is what it is. They've got to dry out. But I wanted to chat about a few things while I'm working on these seeds. It is 11:52, so I finished up my workout at 11. I did have to run down to Walmart. I'm hoping this will not take me more than an hour because I still need to, when I say pack the truck, this is not like a full market event. This was literally, it's a one table. I'm not going to bring the grid walls. It's a friend of mine who's also a vendor. They own a shop, and she asked if I would set up a table. And honestly, during the week, I'm out. Like, my daughter gets out of school at 2:30. She has activities like during the week, which there's usually not events during the week anyways. I'm out. Like, I can't. And plus, this little shop is like 40 minutes from here, 45 minutes one way. But she said I didn't have to be there. I could just leave my table and she would handle it. And I was like, alrighty then, sure. So I've got to get just a few things together for that. It's not going to be much. I'll probably pick like 3 or 4 things. I wouldn't normally be out here doing gardening things while my daughter's at school because I really try to maximize my time in my room. Like, anything that I can get done when she is at school, I know I've said this before, but if you're new here, anything I can get done that I don't have to be in my room, I try and save it for in the evenings, when we're outside, when I'm at her practices and whatnot. And I try to maximize my time in the room. If I have to be at my sewing machine, I have to be at one of the machines or cutting or ironing or whatever it is while I'm in there. I hope the wind does not blow these itty bitty seeds out of my hand. But today's just different because, oh, I dropped one. Don't know if it went in there or not. I'll just add an extra for just in case. Today's different just because as soon as I pick her up at 2:30, we have to go to my friend's shop, like I said, and we will be getting back in just enough time for her to get to dance class. And Tuesday is our busiest day. And so needless to say, I will definitely be working after she goes to bed tonight. I am doing really good on time. It is 1 o'clock on the dot. I came in my room because I had an order to fill. If you order stuff on the website or Etsy that's like already made and I'm in my room, it will ship same day because like all I have to do is just go package it up. And this is mostly on Etsy. I sell a lot of these magnetic bookmarks on Etsy. Allison got a blue pit, and you just yeed your last haul because I love capybaras. And then she got a Crafty Babe sticker. I actually didn't have these made. I went ahead and made some really quick. For some reason, this particular capybara does really well. I never thought to talk about my shipping because it is nothing fancy. Again, I make a lot of the stuff myself, like the printables and stuff, and I try to make it look cute, but on a budget. If that's something else in future videos you'd like me to share, kind of what I use, where I get stuff from, and then what I make myself, I'd be happy to do that. Even though she already got a sticker, I'm gonna give her another one. I'll give her Be the Reason Someone Smiles Today. I usually have stickers about half this size that I make up. I can get like a bunch on one sheet that I make up as freebies, but I'm out and I keep forgetting to make some, so she's gonna get a big one. So whenever people order the dog magnetic bookmarks, and sometimes cats, but I don't have one for cats, I need to make one, they almost always ship in either a small envelope or a poly mailer like this. And can you just look at the sticker that I made? It's corgis and corgi butts. I made this. And then I have another one that's got like a tannish gray background, and you're again gonna ignore my nails because what's the point in painting my nails if I've been in the dirt like every other day and it's just kind of gross. But this one's got like all kinds of dog elements on the back, and this was one that I made for wintertime. It's got a cup of hot chocolate on it, and it's just super, super cute. I need to make some for summer though. These dog ones are something, but the corgi one has like snowflakes on it, and so I need to make one for summertime. I've thought about selling them, like selling monthly, like cutesy packaging stickers, because these really didn't take me that long to design. I made them on Canva, and also they're not supposed to be like individual like this. This was like the 4th time I tried making a die cut sticker sheet, and it just kept, the pressure was just too much like every time, and I just didn't want to waste the stickers. And so I will eventually get it, but I thought about selling them. Y'all, I could make a cow one. That's going to be the summer one. The cow is going to be the summer one. Add that to my lengthy list of to-dos. Even though I've only got one bag, I've probably already bringing way more than I can possibly set out on one table with no grid walls. I have no idea how I'm going to display the AirPods cases. They might just be on the table, and honestly, I'm probably only going to put a few out. Again, this is a really small event. I didn't really explain this event. Again, this is a really small event. I'm not really worried about it. This is probably not going to be like a super high sales thing. I shouldn't even really call it an event. It's just a pop-up at a shop. I don't have to be there. That's the main reason I'm doing this. If she had asked me like to actually be there, I would have had to decline. I just had a thought, and this kind of goes along with what I've been talking about in my market vendor series. I don't think the episode I'm talking about has come out yet. It comes out this week, which means by the time this video goes live, it'll already be out. Okay, mom brain. Anywho, I was talking about how if you're in the market scene and how becoming friends with your vendor neighbors and really being courteous and communicating with them, and they can really be a social network. They can be very, very helpful, helping you learn, like literally helping you out if you need it, you know, all that kind of good stuff. Well, the friend that I'm going to her husband's shop, they are vendor friends that I met years ago doing a little pop-up event at a coffee shop. It was super fun. You know, we've bought from each other over the years. I support her husband's family's business. That's where we get our beef, our freezer beef, you know. And so this is also kind of, I wouldn't say a favor, like kind of, not a favor. Like I'm trying to make money. But if it was anyone else, I would probably not even go set up during the week, even if I didn't have to be there, just because it's so far. But she's my friend and we've helped each other a lot over the years and this and that. So you get what I'm saying? Like friends help each other out. I have never gone with just one bag to an event. Granted, this is a giant bag. I use giant laundry bags to transport most of my products. I did a little like test thing in one of my videos way back when I first started YouTube. It's like crochet storage. And I did a test on how much from a tote, like a standard tote that we use, like a plastic tote, would fit in here. And this fits a tub and a half of small plushies. And so it's really, really convenient to throw on top of the heavy stuff, either in the back of a vehicle or in the back of a trailer. Other than apparel, which can get very, very heavy, I use laundry bags. These are linked in my Amazon storefront under either Market Essentials or Crochet Essentials. Okay, I was really hoping I had what I needed as far as signage, and I do. I know I've mentioned this before that I make all my own printables, but I also make all my own market signage. And this is another something if you want me to talk about in a video. Here's the thing. I have found that I don't like doing videos where I'm only showing you how to do like this one little thing because I'm busy. Like I have stuff to do every week. Like as you can see today, I'm very pressed for time a lot of the time. I'm not always doing my plants in the middle of the day, but I like to just kind of work it in when I can in and amongst doing all the other things, kind of like I did with the fabric labels this morning. And so at some point in a studio vlog, if you would like me to show you how I make these on Canva and why I make 2 different formats and how much I spend on that, where I get my inspiration from, just let me know down in the comments and I will work that in sometime soon. I feel like this whole video, like the sound, the angles, everything is just fly by the seat of my pants, but that's literally how I feel today because I was not planning to film. I decided to do this literally this morning. You're getting like 4-day hair. I realize my jogger pants have a hole in them. It is what it is. I've got about 20 minutes until I have to leave. What I should be doing is fixing that Harry Potter wallet, but I don't want to. So I'm going to start sewing some of these holes closed on these bows because I did finish turning out a bunch of these last night. I am not selling this many pouches right now with bows. Just full disclosure, I am not rolling in sales right now. I'm just trying to be proactive either over the next few months or whatever, because I don't enjoy making these. So it's like 8:45 at night. My daughter is in bed. I waited like 30 minutes to make sure she was well and truly in there because here lately she's been bebopping around in there making all kinds of noise. So when we were at dance practice earlier, I went ahead and cut all of these out. This is how many I got at dance practice. I just took a little basket and some scissors and was just lazily cutting them while I was chatting with the other moms. So this really does not take that much time. I was at dance for almost an hour, but I was taking my sweet time cutting them out because I had an hour. And so for the price, I feel like this is well worth the time. I mean, the thing that took the longest was cutting them out. Everything else took literally just a few minutes. I just keep them in a little plastic container. This is actually a drawer organizer that came in several different sizes, and I love these things. They, mix and match sizes and fit in the drawers, but I've been using them to sort all the little bitty accessory pieces to go with my sewing items. I also earlier, while my daughter was watching her Polly Pocket show and reading her books, I snipped all the strings off of these bows, which is perfect because I need to iron down and sew these bows, but not tonight. So while I'm sorting these, I'm sorting them into large and small. I only put the finished ones in here so that I know that they're ready to go. So I've talked before about like different social media platforms. I post on Instagram stories like almost every day. Weekends are kind of inconsistent because that's like family time, but I also sometimes show like what we're doing family wise. Like last weekend I got out my water bath canner and I canned pizza sauce. But here's my thought. Okay, we're in this new digital age, right, of social media, everything. Like social media is the new marketing. And if you do it right, it's free. But you have to know how to work it, right? And here's my qualm. It's like a two-edged sword, okay? On one hand, it's free. If you just put in the work and you figure out how to do it, and you make gorgeous, beautiful content, and you're consistent, and you engage, and all the things, it can work for you, and it works really, really well. We all know this. But my thing is, are these people parents? Like, obviously, we're all parents, and don't come for me in the comments. I'm not knocking anyone who puts a lot of time into that. I'm talking about for me, and my experience, and my thoughts. I'm like, I don't have time to do all of those things every single day. Yes, you can schedule them out, but I'm just in here trying to get all the things made. Oh, let me remember to take a reel really quick. Oh, let me stop what I'm doing to either post it, save it, put a caption on it later. But when you post it, you have to engage for a while on said platform to show the algorithm that you're active and you're on it so that it will then push your content out. Honestly, y'all want to know how one of the reasons I'm so successful at being productive during the day? I'm not one to boast, but I do feel like I am pretty good at maximizing my time during the day. I do not waste time while my daughter's at school. I'm not on my phone. I might check a message. I might check a Facebook message from my brother, or my girl Sandy messages me on Instagram all the time. Hi, Sandy, if you're watching. I will answer those real quick, but I'm not just scrolling on my phone because scrolling is a time suck. Again, we all do it before bed or on the toilet or waiting at our daughter's practices or whatever sometimes, but I lost where I was going with that precisely. But I'm just frustrated. I guess I'm a little frustrated. I don't have time to put in that level of engagement to get the return. I don't have the time to put that level of engagement in to get that return back, to get my exposure out there, I guess. Because YouTube, obviously, all the platforms are very different. I'm mainly talking about TikTok and Instagram. I am not on any of the other ones. I have a Pinterest account. There's a little bit of stuff on there. Don't have time to do that regularly. I don't even know what the other ones are. I've heard of Lemonade, Threads. I have all that I can juggle right now, okay? But one of my very serious goals that I was very adamant about at the beginning of the year was diversifying income streams. As a small business owner, you almost have to diversify your income streams. Unless you go viral and you are just balling out of control. YouTube was one way that I was going to diversify my income, because as a handmade small business, it can be, depending on what your products are, very seasonal. And so I was working towards YouTube kind of filling in those gaps in between the seasons. It's going really, really well so far. Thank you so much for being here. And so TikTok, mainly a seller account, or even TikTok shop of the same products I already have, you know, and just opening up a whole new audience on my products. Like, that was literally my goal with TikTok, is to broaden the audience and the eyes on my products. I mean, y'all, I'm posting on there, but it gets pitiful. Like, one video will have a couple hundred, the next one will do a couple thousand. I don't know. I've seen the same things over and over again about how you're supposed to grow it, and that's probably right. I'm not saying I don't know how. I'm saying I don't have time to do that. So for right now, I'm not going to like not post on TikTok, but I'm also not going to bend over backwards. And what I feel right now is kind of wasting time during my day, spending too much time making posts on there. I'm going to focus my energies on what is working, which is my friends on YouTube here. In-person markets, I'm actually having to turn down offers and invites because I'm a little maxed out on my schedule, and it's also springtime, which is also really busy around the home things and outside. Focus on what is working and don't worry so much about what's not working. I'm not worried about it. I guess I'm just a little disappointed and frustrated. Maybe it'll work in the future. Maybe I'll get approved for TikTok seller account. Can't seem to get approved for that for the life of me. But I'm just going to keep focusing on what's working for right now. I literally have piles going down my desk here of like in progress stuff, and it's barely even 9 o'clock, and I was like, I can get in here for like an hour. I was gonna work on these next, but y'all, I'm tired. I know I said I was gonna come in here and work, but I'm just done. Like, I'm tired. And so I'm gonna come in here. Oh, the Harry Potter wallet. I did pick the stitches. I'm going to come in first thing this morning and get this finished so it will go out tomorrow. Friends, I'm going to end this video here. I know this was really different. Was it weird? I was just trying to give a really honest glance at what my day looks like, because there has been so many comments, like I said, about momming and working and trying to do all the things. My day doesn't always look this chaotic. Sometimes I really am just in here all day, but I thought this was a good one to show you when it's not super smooth. So friends, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next week.